Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House here, just outside. The snow, I'm just finally getting over this cold. Got some choked up, some nasty phlegm this morning. Not that you guys want to hear that. But I went on my 2-mile trail hike again, and everything's nice because the snow is gone. A little cool outside still, but I can actually show you. I got this pedometer at the local Dollar Tree here, and actually I was wrong. One lap around the trail was a 1.5 miles, so I did the 2, and there you go. That's how many 2 laps is 2.60 miles, and that was 235.3 calories burned. And this thing actually adapts to your phone if you want to. It says the memory's full, but I'm not going to use it for that. I'm just going to as a tracker on progress. I only did the 2 today, but while I was out there, I responsibly harvested a little dead piece of wood off a tree, as you can see. And I'm going to do a demo today of turning dead stuff using a pencil sharpener, also bought at the dollar store, into shavings for tinder. Now what I need to do is create a point as you would a pencil in order to make this work, right? So I can possibly get it going by just jamming this in here. It's actually working without having me to make a point to cut. That's okay. So the nice thing about this pencil sharpener, guys, is it has the little chamber with the lid, so you can basically fill that whole guy up with the shavings, as you see in there, and eventually, see, it's starting to make a point on here like a pencil. Now I have some crap stuck inside the end there, so I'll have to fish that out of there with something. But there's the little shavings. Now once I get that crap dug out of there, which I'll do in a second, it will do a lot larger pieces for shavings. So I'm just gonna bang here on the table. Let's see if I can get that stuff out of there. Need a piece of wire or something. But anyway, here, I'll show you what these shavings look like anyway. So already dead, dry, and obviously you're going to want to mix this into your tinder, and it'll help the tinder stay fueled, and then start adding your bigger stuff. Obviously you want to use up the entire pieces of your stick to do this. Let's try something else here. I'm going to take, oh, there we go. I unjammed the mass that was stuck in there just about with this pointed piece of the broken piece of wood. So this pointed piece, will try him without the top on. And it's just basically making a mass of little chewed up dead dry wood that is just falling down on the table here because I do not have the lid on. But you can see it's starting to sharpen that point up And then eventually what you want is the nice long little strips that you normally would get during doing a pencil sharpening. You get those nice thin long sections. But like I say, this is obviously not the size of a pencil, and this hole is pretty limited on how much sheet material can go inside all the way. So obviously it's not letting enough in to get the long wavy sections of what you would really desire as tinder. But what you can do, I'm going to see if I can cut this thing in half, believe it or not. See what I can do with the blade here. I'm going to do it right on the table. Turn you guys around for a second. Very carefully, I'm just gonna kind of score it, get started, get that embedded in there. Whoops, it's scored, but it's got to get in a little deeper than what I want. Okay, that basically chopped it straight down in half. And now, if I reshape the pieces, I should be able to get a lot more in there. Actually, I almost jammed up the entire piece. Yeah, this piece of wood is kind of just falling apart in my hands. But anyway, see now. See there, guys? That's the kind of long strips that I'm talking about. You want a whole whack of those. That's what you normally see for pencil sharpening shavings. And that's the kind of tinder you're actually looking for. Not so much this little stuff, but those long, thin, wavy sections. Can't get too much more out of this piece. Nothing really for leverage to hang on to. It's just, you know, throw that in the pile. Let's try the other side that I broke off. But by cutting it in half, it allows me more material to go all the way down. So hopefully the result will be those longer shaving pieces, right? And that'll get, and then you can just store these. See, that's what I'm talking about. These long, thin shavings. That's nice stuff to work with for starting fires. And then you don't want to get it jammed in your sharpener, so I'm going to stop right there. But like you guys can see this, you got a little pile set up. You got, you know, some of the pieces that are just chunkier, thicker. Throw those in. But get your tinder, of course. Mix them all together, hopefully, and you'll have a nice little fire going. You know, obviously the bigger pieces, it's not going to happen. Got to obviously cut this thing in half again, and then go from there. But be careful, guys. You know, it's a knife, it's a blade. You want to score it, so the blade is kind of nesting in the wood. And depending on the wood, it will break in certain ways that you may not want. So let's see. This one's actually just falling apart on me again. It's kind of like a wet rot on this one. That one's kind of no good, but let's see if I can score this long piece. A little more difficult to do that. that's not gonna happen. Alright. But what you could also try is getting this thing to a point with the actual blade itself. Thin off the material all the way down. You know, thin the entire length of the stick you have, and then we can try again to see how much shavings we can get. Like I said, all the stuff you're shaving off of here, throw that in the pile as well, guys. That's all good stuff. You just want to avoid damp, you know, nasty wood. You want to choose your material. And like I said, I chose this off a dead tree. You can tell by the color. And it snapped off with little to no effort whatsoever. And we'll go from there. So I got about halfway shaved on this little guy. We'll try the sharpener now, just to see what will happen. Okay, so in it goes. See when you're getting pieces like this, the longer, thin stuff like that, obviously I'm breaking it in my hand, so not good. That's what you're looking for. See that? Those nice long shavings. That's perfect. Yeah, see, that's a good one there. That's really good. And then if you put your lid back on, which is nice and handy with this thing, you got a nice storage container. You can fill this whole thing up. It's protected. Now, this piece of wood is starting to snap on me, but you got your nice little tinder in there. You can even put that back for the next day, let it dry out a bit, right? Or if you want to get right to it, I'm sure there'd be no difficulty to mix in some decent tinder and get a nice little fire going. But that's quite a bit of material off a little tiny stick that you pick up on the wayside. Not bad at all. Sharpen to a point. Obviously with pencils, they're all mass produced and in uniform shape, but when you're outside in the wild or whatever, reality is everything's different, pretty much. So you got, you know, you're starting to make quite a nice pile. Little tinder. Obviously, you're going to want to stack a bunch of other materials to keep your fire going. Larger sticks, you know, etc., depending on what your goal is. Look at that, made of pencil. So, yeah, it's not really shaving for me too, you know, very well for the larger shavings, but at least, hey, look at that. You got a decent pile there, guys. And then whatever you don't want to use, throw it in. Little tinder, you're good to go. So, there's my little demo for today, guys. Little prepping, survival, making life a little easier. And you can get probably a package of these, a set, at your local Dollar Tree on a budget. No ifs, ands, or buts. And as you can see, very helpful, especially if you're trying to start a fire. So next time at your Dollar Tree, you got some pocket change, you're looking for something for your EDC or bug out bag, pick up a little pack of those. I think I got 3 in a package for $1 or something like that. So I really can't beat that, guys. All right, see you on the next one.